Yeah, but I was like talking when you were talking about BMF.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really appreciate the fact that they I'm sorry, I'm kind of hoarse.
That's okay.
And,
Take your time.
and I said that my voice sound hoarse. I don't look like a horse.
I'm kind of dear, so hey.
So, but I appreciate a lot of the authenticity that they have with regards to, like, you know how most of the time you see something, it looks really Hollywood.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, like the White Boy Rick movie.
Mm-hmm.
I never watched
Like
it.
the movie about White Boy Rick was like the guy didn't look like Rick did not wear his hair in a little curly afro at all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Um, you know, the way he dressed in the movie, he didn't dress like that. Rick dressed like a hip black kid.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
He wore his hair in a short crop cut, and he had a long tail in the back. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody was wearing those tails.
Oh, the little rat tails.
Yeah,
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 in the
uh-huh.
back. He had a long tail in the back. He used to wear all the nicest gym shoes and all this and that, track suits.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he used to get. I don't know if y'all ever heard of the jingle boots. Remember the jingle boots?
No.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They were like suede boots, and they had buckles on the back, and they used to leave them back, and then
Oh yeah.
they
Mm-hmm.
would jingle, they would ring. So he used to wear the jingle boots and a nanny gold fur coat,
Mm-hmm.
a mink bomber or fur bomb, whatever. He would walk around like with a big fur collar. He drove Benzes, BMWs, and Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't driving in those old school raggedy cars and lived in a ran down house. They did not live in a ran down house. That movie was not true to life. It to me. Now some of the facts might have been or whatever, but it wasn't like that. But this
BMF.
BMF movie, the clothes that they wear, the glad those
It's all the shit that the ballers and
ridiculous,
the players and the drug dealers used to
right?
wear. Like,
The language,
mm-hmm.
straight up, what up, doe?
Mm,
All of
yeah,
that.
what up, though? When I saw that or heard that, I was like, hey, that's how we used to talk.
Yep, and even like when in the last episode when the little girl was dancing, watching the show, that was our local dance show that used to come on called The Scene. It was The
Mm.
Scene and then became the new dance show. But that was The Scene. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
watched The Scene at 6 o'clock
Mm-hmm.
every day. So all of those things were like really true to life. Even the clothes they were,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he had a Benz at 15, 14, all of the
Yeah,
drug dealers at 14, 15 years old
yeah.
who drove
What do
Benz.
you What do you think
Mm.
about the his son playing him?
That's
Big
crazy.
Big Meech. What do you think about
And
little
he's cute
Meech?
too.
He is cute. Do you think he's doing a
Definitely.
great job? Because this is his first time acting, and I think he's
Yep.
doing awesome.
And
Hmm.
actually is really good. He looked like
Mm-hmm.
he got that that it's there's like a certain swag
The swag. Mm-hmm.
that they have and he's got it. Like and who he knows his father better than anybody. So
Mm-hmm.
he
Yeah.
knows how his father would respond or react to certain
Mm-hmm.
things or whatever. So he can give you a true raw reaction.
Kind of like Ice Cube's son in
Right.
Straight
And
Outta
Boys
Exactly.
in the Hood,
Compton.
not Boys in the Hood, but yeah,
Yeah, and the movie Compton, Straight Out of Compton or whatever.
Straight Out of Compton. Yeah.
So it's like a lot of the things that went on. Of course, you got some of the Hollywood, even like some of the places they filmed, like every Coney Island.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
everything is like true. It ain't all Hollywood. It's like somebody watching that been gone from Detroit for 20 years, 30 years, or whatever, can watch this movie and say, dang, that's bringing back memories.
Yes,
Kind of
that's like home. It's like being
right.
back home.
Because it's a lot more authentic, and I can appreciate that because it ain't like here we go again, got this bull going on.
Like in Belly when they did Omaha, it was like
Yeah, they was
it was
like they
not
went through
Omaha.
Omaha, like, but some people like that ain't Omaha. They just pretended like they was in
That
Omaha.
was
They
in
Or
actually
Jersey.
was in Jersey, and but
yeah.
then they was in a set. They was on a movie set too.
Yeah,
Omaha
like
near resemble
they went
Omaha at all.
to they went to Canada. And I'm like, you went right across the bridge because you know Detroit is literally 5 minutes away from the country of Canada.
Mm.
Like we are literally 5 minutes away from a whole other country. So like you went to another country to film a movie about Detroit when you was in Detroit. Why not be honest and film in
Because it was
Detroit?
cheaper.
Right.
It was crazy, but you know, a lot of that, like I said, Rick, it have a lot to do with. And you know, I went to school with Rick. I went to high school. Matter of fact, I talked to him on Instagram since he been home. His best friend was my neighbor across the street. He was there. I was talking to him about that. He was there when they brought his body out, when they killed his best friend. He was there when they brought his body out. And I was like, you know, I know that, you know, bring back some. He was like, man, that was the hardest thing I ever had to relive, thinking about Steve. And see, Steve and I, me and Steve's cousin, first cousin, Carlton, were best. That was like my best male friend at that time. But Steve and I, we had this love-hate relationship kind of thing. Like, what's up, punk? Hey, punk, F you back. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we still respected each other. But we are shut up, B.
Melissa.
But
Hey, Melissa.
when he got killed by a member of the Best Friends hit crew. The Best Friends hit crew. And it was in retaliation of allegedly Steve testifying against one of them on a murder trial. So they came into Steve's house. I was at home when it happened. Steve literally lived across the street and 1, 2, 3 houses over, straight in front of me. So when they came in, the guy came in. He came in through the back door, kicked the back door. Steve, Patrick, Patrick's Steve's little cousin, Tracy's little sister was there, and little George. They were in the house when the guy kicked the door in, and the guy shot him, just started shooting. Steve told his little cousin, the girl, he said, play dead. That's the only way you're gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it, but I want you to play dead. They shot him. They shot him with a gun and put a silencer on it. That's why we didn't hear any gunshot. All I know is when they came in and they opened the door, I mean, I heard somebody screaming. But when I came down outside, his uncle George was walking up and down the street with his hands holding in his hands and his head saying, they didn't have to kill him. They didn't have to kill him. I told my stepmom, I said, something's going on. Because there's a lot of people at Steve's house and the police and everybody's out there. I at Miss Russell's house. And I said, and Steve, is he not coming? You know, he's not around. He said he hasn't shown up yet. I was like, something is going on with Steve because he hasn't showed up yet. And something was going on at his house or his grandma owned house. So a couple of minutes later, I had to take my best friend to work. She was staying with us at the time. Took her to work and came back. As soon as I pulled off myself, I said they brought his body out in the body bag. Rick, white boy Rick, was standing right outside when they brought his body out.
Damn.
That's how close to the situation I was. So I can look at this movie and tell if it's some bullcrap or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And,
because you from D-Town, you from Detroit.
and I
And
was
you were
here.
affiliated with certain people. Yeah.
Yeah, I was here when a lot of that stuff was going on, and I knew a lot of people that were involved. Now, I didn't know the Flannery brothers. I didn't know them, and they were younger than I was. They're a little younger than me, but they were in Southwest Detroit. Out of Southwest Detroit, it's a lot of blacks and Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? That's who stay out that way. So I never even when I went out here, Southwest always had a bad reputation though for being like you get in and get out kind of thing.
So what was the worst part of Detroit? Like in our city of Omaha, we know it's North Omaha where most of the crimes and violence is. But
all of Detroit is rough. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You just got to, the wealthier parts are the parts that's probably better.
So is that like where's the wealthier part? Like the suburban areas? Is that like north or is it east?
Where Aretha had a house, which is like out in the Boston Edison district.
So is it like north, east?
That's right in the middle of like Woodward is what separates the east side and west side. So the Boston Edison district falls right in off of Woodward, like in that little. It's like a cluster of blocks.
Oh, okay.
And then you have Indian Village, which is on the right here on the east side, off of Jefferson, which is off the river. That's like downtown. It takes you. It's the thoroughfare from downtown Detroit out to like Grosse Pointe and all of that. That's where Anita Baker lives, uncle, in Grosse Pointe.
Now, have you ever been to Anita's? Not Anita, but who did you just mention? I'm tripping. Aretha. Have you ever been to her house? Like, is it still there? Is it still lived in by her family?
When she passed away, she passed away. She was staying in her apartment, which is in a high-rise downtown.
Oh, and so who lives in the house now?
And, she had like 5 houses now.
Oh, okay, because I was just thinking about the one that's on the show, the main big house that's on the movie.
She hadn't been in on the movies. She hadn't been in that house in years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she hadn't been in it out. It's somebody lives in it now.
I was just wondering if it was like one of those houses where celebrities live and they turned it into a tourism site or
No, she actually sold that house. Okay. They sold the house. But the person that lives in it, will let like TV crews and all that kind of stuff come through.
That is so cool to be living in the house of a legend.
Yeah. And it was a nice house too. She had it nice. She had this rose-looking wallpapers on the wall, on some of the she had her thing. Mm-hmm. And then my brother, God rest his soul, used to work. He was a supervisor with ADT. And when she had her house out in Farmington Hills, which is now that's where the ballers live, like all of the Pistons and all that, they live out there because that's where the big mansions are in Farmington Hills.
The Pistons. I used to like the Pistons back in the day with Isaiah and them.
Isaiah, that was the bad boys. So she would girl set her alarm when she lived in Farmington Hills. Set her alarm, go to bed, whatever. She get up at 1, 2 in the morning, go into the kitchen and trip the alarm. So my brother would have to call Miss Franklin, is everything okay? We got it. She's like, child, I'm sorry, I was going to the kitchen, give me something to eat. He said, I don't know how many times.
She must have had the alarm on her way. I've done that before. I accidentally put the alarm on her way.
You can bypass certain rules, but when you got
yeah.
It's like you setting it, you want to make sure it,
It's so technical with these alarms. Even if you want to bypass the basement or bypass the kitchen or living room, yeah.
But yeah, it's there's so much like they're redoing Motown. They did redoing Motown now, so that it's more tourist friendly, and they're gonna have it where it's like a little mini mall in it and all this. They doing a lot of stuff to it now, and it's about time. It's and Motown is actually two houses next to each other that very Gordy purchased and built a walkway of like a skywalker. You know what I'm saying? That so you don't have to go outside to go from one house to the other. And they made one house was the studio and the other house was the business office. So now they're working on it to make it a more attractive where you'll be able to shop in there and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Cool.